so we're good. Oh my God, you almost spilled me.
All right. If everybody can do a solid, go on Twitter and share this live stream out, who's running the main account?
No.
The hobbyist miner.
Mike, it's on Mike's account.
It's on Mike. Oh my God, I spilled my beer. Too early for this shit.
You're good. You're good, Betty.
Going to stream that?
It's not on my stream, it's on the Veteran Miner stream.
Awesome. So we don't need to record.
No, we're good. We're all set. We're good. Mike's over there, so they're coming on me. Yeah. It's not the sound buzzy.
All right, if I can ask for that playlist, hit it while we're doing this. 1 second.
Check. Check. 1 2 1 2. Test. Oh. Check.
Drew, answer the phone.
Test, test.
Test.
All right, I'm gonna do a couple of things and help you guys out. There is no more buzzing, but Drew, do me a favor, feed me out into the lobby because this is important. Oh, you guys can hear me out there. Get your drinks and come on in here because we got the best panel of the day. So everybody that's hanging out in the lobby, bring your drinks in here. Bring it with you. We might open up for Q&A, so feel free to come on out.
Now it's a party. Now it's a party.
This is not the first or the last time that's going to happen. All right.
Check, check. Check, check, check.
All right. We are going to go through everybody, but we got to make sure the mics work, Dan. So that one right there, let's give it a shot. Check, 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 check. Check, check. One mic. This is mic number one. We're going to throw it on the left. Here you go. Now the next one, check 1, 2, check, 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 check. It's low, but you can crank it a bit. Last one, check. There. Oh, this is hot. This is hot.
Oh, my man.
Almost as much as Dan.
Five, brother. Fuck you.
All right, Dan, let's do this.
This one works. Hello? Check 1, 2.
I don't know.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hang on, actually, hang on. Just so it might be one of these mics.
Turn that one off. Mike, dog, Dan, turn this off.
It's gonna take a
There's
second.
a delay.
Turn off all your.
Well, here's the fun thing. I actually hear the buzzing out here as well. Drew, can you mute every channel with the exception of these? All right, front of house. Can you mute everything but the mics?
Guys, mute all the mics for now. Over there, AB. How many crypto people does it take to figure out how to use mics?
It's the mics, yeah. It must be.
It's probably the road mic.
Our beating.
That was a dangerous jump for him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
It was sketchy. Touch and go. Yeah, it was.
He almost threw his hip out on that one.
Jeez, hey.
This is now live.
Okay, go ahead. Turn on mic. Yeah, mics are hot. Let's give it a shot. Let's ask them on the live stream if they can hear us and how good or bad this is. Let's test it out here. All right, let's see. Gone. I promise this will get better. All right. Can you guys hear the mic on the stream? And do we still have any buzzing? People on the stream. Got that lovely delay. Buzz is gone. Buzz is gone. Let's go. This is great. I'm killing the buzz. That was Davey spilling drinks, but.
What? Yeah.
Can we keep it up when we start singing?
Yeah.
You, Scott, has all the drink tickets.
I'll sit next to Dan in a minute. Oh, sorry. I didn't.
You just say drink tickets.
Drink tickets. Testing, testing.
See, when you talk, the buzz goes away.
Yeah, that's weird.
Forget about it. We'll just stop. We won't stop talking, and the people on the stage, that's pretty easy.
Right.
All right, well then we'll just leave it. Okay, just leave it. Okay, we're cool.
Okay. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, coming to you live from CYPHERPUNK 2023. Everybody in the house? So we just finished up an amazing, amazing day of lots of information, and now we get to end it with some of my favorite YouTubers in the world. Welcome to Wired Wednesday.
How's everyone doing? My name is Michael Maffa. I am the president of GPURisers.com. It is a crypto mining hardware company. We specialize in high quality risers, splitters, fans, whatever you guys really need for crypto mining. This is a show my buddy Dave and I started called Wired Wednesdays, kind of following Terra Tuesdays, which stars Hot Crypto Mining here and the Mining King over on the other side, which then follows Mondays with Max, of course with Max Voltage. So usually on our shows, we're in front of a camera, so this is a little bit different. But usually we kind of just talk a little bit about what happened in the past week from the prior Wednesday and anything new, and then we have people that come on the show, a lot of familiar faces here that hop on and talk about just current topics. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. That's why we have the panel here, ask a couple different questions, and please feel free to ask us questions. So that's a little bit about me. I'm, of course, the president of GPURisers.com. I'm also the chief operating officer for Terra Hosting, which specializes in proof of work hosting and also proof of useful work and AI hosting. We also have a data center that's being built out in Melbourne, Florida, a little north of here. So exciting stuff. But I'm going to hand it over to Dave here, and he'll tell you a little bit about himself, and then we'll pass the mic around. So.
Thank you, Mike. How you doing? I'm Dave. I am the veteranminer.com. That is my company. It's a USA-based company. I make computer cables for servers, mining rigs, and so forth. So Mike and I, we did some work together, and he sells some of my cables as well. And we basically created Wired Wednesdays. So I want to introduce the rest of the guys in the panel and enjoy the show.
We got a mic.
I'm the Mining King. I'm also the CTO for Terra Hosting, which my other partners here on the panel, Michael Maffa and Michael Zuccarelli, and I run the Mining King YouTube channel.
I got my own. I am Max Voltage. Started the YouTube channel a couple years ago, just to kind of get people knowing more about crypto and diving deep into different topics that people had questions about.
My name's Will, tech hustler on YouTube and all the socials. Got into crypto 2016, started mining, started buying, was doing that for a while, and then a couple years ago when everything was shut down, I lost my job and went 100% into YouTube, 100% in crypto mining, seeing rapid growth in YouTube and all the other socials, and now I'm here. It's crazy how it works.
Oh, it's my turn? It's my turn? Okay. Delay. Anyway, I'm Mike, Hawk Crypto Mining, the most handsome guy on the stage. So if you guys have any questions about crypto mining topics, you want to ask this guy right here. He knows everything. Anyway, so I'm kind of new to the space still. I had my YouTube channel about, I don't know, less than a year. Started my own hosting company. That failed. Moved into Terra Hosting. And I learned from my mistakes and created a better company. So I'm the CEO of Terra Hosting. Originally, I didn't want to get into the service business again. I didn't want to do it. I really didn't. But it was cool, and I was good at it, so I did it. And that's my story. So, yeah, that's about it. So Wired Wednesdays is a good show. Me and King have another show called Terra Hash Tuesday, which is pretty cool. And I got nothing else. So I'm going to pass it to Mr. Geek of All Trades.
Hey, my name's Alex. I'm the Geek of All Trades. And yeah, I'm a YouTuber just like the rest of these knuckleheads up here. IT job by day, just kind of made sense to make a YouTube channel talking about IT and technology afterwards. So yeah.
My name's the Hobbyist Miner. I'm addicted to Flux, hopefully like the rest of you here. Yeah! So I've been in the crypto and YouTube space for almost 3 years now. Came to know all of these gentlemen up here, lots of personalities and such. My focus on my channel is home mining. Started out as a little home miner three years ago, and now have a pretty elaborate home mining, even mining through the bear market. Still going strong. So yeah, that's the channel and what you guys can come to expect. So gentlemen down there in the center hosting this shindig, what's up next? What are we talking about today?
One work? Yeah, that one works. I think Will mentioned it, how he first got into mining. I think that would be a pretty good topic. You want to start?
Sure. So about 3 years ago, was looking for another avenue for income as a side hustle. As we all know, the economy is not stellar, and background in technology, and decided to see what I could do from home. Little to no capital, and just kind of dabble into it and step into it. So I decided, hey, let's try YouTube. Not really a goal to make money, but more of a goal to just grow and with other people in the scene. And took it from there. So my main focus was really just a little side hustle with maybe a little passive income if it came from it.
You know, I think I started very similar, but my journey into crypto started by getting wrecked on stocks. And so had a little bit of extra money, decided I'd put some money down on stocks. That didn't work out too well. And started looking into crypto or other passive incomes, and just loving technology and all the things behind it. It really got me into mining, you know, creating not just mining rigs, but servers and nodes and all the things with it. And then Flux, being its decentralized cloud nature, really sucked me into to where I'm at today. So running a bunch of nodes, a handful of miners, and looking forward to useful work for sure.
All right. So I was sitting on the couch one day. I was watching TV, and I'm like, I ain't making enough money. So I Googled ways to make passive income, right? This was not the right way, okay? It's not the right way. And a video by a very popular YouTuber named Seb Heslow popped up. And it was talking about mining Flux. Swear to God, first crypto I ever mined in my garage. I have the video to prove it, okay? I started mining Flux, and then, sorry, Dan, I moved to Ethereum because I made more money. That's all right. So I came back. And that's how I started. I started making content. My first videos were awful. And like all of our first videos were pretty much awful. Then from there, I created a hosting company. I had a warehouse. And now I'm here with these gentlemen up here. I mean, short end of the story. Then I met Mike. We started a hosting company. That's pretty much it. Basically turning a frown upside down. And by the way, I'm still broke, so it's great. It's great. Get into mining. It's awesome. I'm kidding.
Hey, Mike, real quick question. I'm over here. Hi. Seems like everybody is just looking for some extra income in this thing, so let's make it more fun. When you were jumping into, mining, crypto in general, instead of how did you get into it? How did you fail? What was your first failure getting into it?
Here's okay. All right. I got a video on this, by the way, which was pretty good.
What's it called?
So I think yeah, right, it's gonna turn into the Hawk Show. Where people go wrong when you build these farms is it's the hot hand fallacy. You keep thinking that all these profits and all these things are gonna keep happening, right? So you invest more money, you invest more money, you invest more money. I'll give you an example. There was a guy that I bought a farm from, okay, for $5,000. What do you think his initial investment was at the height of Ethereum mining? Take a guess. Nope. Nope.
10.
300,000. 330,000 to be exact. And I actually have a receipt where he paid $900 a piece for a refurbished, not new, refurbished 5700 XT. That's called highway robbery. I bought the GPUs from him for $24 each. Here's the moral of the story. Ease your way into crypto mining. Do not go and spend $180,000, which is what I spent, and buy a bunch of machines. Me, I got lucky. I started a company. I was able to roll a lot of that money and debt over, and I survived. Thanks again, Mike. Appreciate it. And so I got lucky. A lot of people didn't. So where I failed was I moved too quickly. I chased the money. I didn't chase what it was actually about. That's the problem. Don't see dollar signs. Mining's not dollar signs. It's a long-term game. Now it's okay. But in the beginning, man, I mean, what were we making on Ethereum, man? It was crazy. Like a 5700 XT was making $5, $6 a day at the height, right? Well, you can charge $900 for it because you'll probably make that back in 2 years. That's how these things were priced out. $24 I bought that GPU for. And then my initial company failed because I also did the same thing. I went too quick. This is not a fast game. It's not a fast game. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So that's how I failed. I ran too fast.
And I think that's what YouTubers sometimes don't get to talk about because people are looking for, how do I make money on the internet? I think somebody said they Google that. So anybody else, give me failure stories because we don't hear these enough. And I think that's the best way for any of us to learn what the heck to do in the space, when to start out and how not to fail, right?
Well,
so
everybody can give you the story. Oh, I started this, I did this, I made this amount of money. Nobody tells you where they effed up. Right?
Exactly.
Nobody will tell you
Exactly.
that.
Bingo.
That's where it's at. Learn from the mistakes of other people. And it's so hard because human nature says, this guy jacked up, but that ain't gonna happen to me. Everybody said, I said that.
Everyone's going to lose money somewhere along the lines.
You're gonna lose.
You'll get it back, but you're going to lose.
So,
in
but
crypto here and there.
But in all honesty, it was the best lesson I ever learned. Because now I took that, instead of just writing it off as a loss and just moving forward and just saying, that's it, I'm done, I'm not doing this no more. I took that lesson, I pushed a little bit harder, and now we have a hosting company with 2 locations. That's where it's at. So right when you think you're gonna be done, that's when you gotta push the hardest. That's my speech. Thank you.
I first got introduced to crypto mining in 2016, which seems like eternity ago. I was in law school doing everything but studying, and I came across a Forbes article about Ethereum and how you could rent your GPUs and make money on it. And I sent it to one of my buddies, and I went to take a final. I got out of the final, and he's like, I'm at your apartment. He's like, we got to talk about this. I set this up. There's something here. And that was before they had the frames, before they had, really the kits kind of to do this. And so we had this thing, like, it was ridiculous. We had extension cords all over the apartment. I couldn't even use my dryer because there was the only 20 amp in there. And it was just a mess. But we had the, zip-tied GPUs, all that kind of stuff. But that kind of fed me into, 2018, 2019, where I started seeing the hardware being so cheap for this stuff. And especially the risers. That's why it's called GPURisers. And the risers were always the dead point on every rig for me. And so, I found a manufacturer for it, and I was like, I'm going to buy 100 of these, and I'm going to pay a premium, and I just want ones that work, and that's it. So then that's kind of where GPURisers.com first came out. And then I started talking to all the content creators, a lot of them up here, and some watching, I'm sure. And I just said, hey, do you guys want good risers? And they said, yeah, that would be great. So it kind of came to fruition from that, and I've been mining ever since. I kind of took the conservative approach to mining. in the sense that, you know, I first started with a 6-card rig, and I just kept reinvesting the income from it, selling Ethereum, and eventually got built up to around 160, 170 GPUs. And then now I'm kind of pushing back down a little bit, consolidating, selling, you know, all those cards that, you know, during the Ethereum run, you're just like, I gotta get everything on there. So I have still about 50 cards running, a mixture of Flux and some other coins, and kind of getting into the AI stuff now too, and proof of useful work. So very interesting stuff on the horizon, but that's been my crypto journey so far. So what about you, Dave?
Well, how I started out, I tried Nice Hash first, and that was on my computer. So I was using the CPU on the computer and the little GPU. I think it was on the Mac machine, to be honest with you. And I was like, oh wow, crypto mining, and you can use a computer and you can build something. So I was like, I wanted to see if it was something tangible, just like probably all of us in the beginning. So I'm getting BTC, and it was like 2 cents. I thought that I was gonna be able to cash out 2 cents. I'm ignorant as hell. So I'm like, it's not gonna transfer into like minimum, whatever. I think it was like $10 at the time or something. It's like, it wasn't 2 cents. But I was like, oh, well, I made something, but I still can't cash it out. Then I started getting like just 1660s and started building some rigs, and I'm like, wow, you know, and I would, you know, mine Ethereum, and, you know, and I changed it over to BTC, and then I finally was able to put some money in a wallet, and I'm like, wow, this is, it's legit. And then I was like, let me cash it out. The whole thing, I wanted to cash it out. I don't know why. I just wanted to have something tangible. I was like, I got $1 value. It's legit. Cashed it out. I'm like, okay, now I'm going to save it now because it actually has money to it. You know, has value to me personally. Then, you know, I'm looking at all the big YouTubers and everything like Hobbyist Mine, all these guys. And it's pretty funny because that's when I started making cables, because a lot of these YouTubers, the big YouTubers, are like, oh my God, my cables are burning up, and I'm looking at it, and I have an electronics background. And I work for the AudioVox Corporation in the engineering department, and I'm like, I can make these cables. Like, how come no one's making them in the United States, and why are all these cables burning up? So I'm like, I'm making them by hand. And I'm sending it to like Red Panda Mining, Hobbyist Miner. I'm like, check these out, like these are legit.
Thank you. Yeah, no, this guy, he deserves more credit. You know, as a lot of you guys know, as miners that are out there, you buy the cheap stuff. You don't want it to cut into your profit margins, and you end up burning up cables. You buy the cheap Amazon, you know, your yellow and black 6 pins and such. And this guy comes along and goes, hey, I got a higher quality product that is actually, you know, lower gauge versus what they have in China. So thank you.
And thank you. So like, I'm nobody right now. So I have a channel, and I'm showing people how to make a cable by hand. Crazy. And they're working. And I'm like, this is legit. So I decided that's where, you know, the Veteran Miner cables came from. And I built a company, and I lost a lot. Of talk about losing money. I lost about $15,000 of wire and a machine that I was trying to save money and everything else. That was my mistake. Trying to save, you know, but I spend more at the end of the day. But, you know, you learn from your mistakes. And from there, you know, TVM cables came about, and they're all over the place. And I'm so thankful. And then I make cables for Flux. You know, I make cables for everybody. So I'm just like thankful just to be here, of like a nobody making little cables here and there. And look at us, we're on a panel over here talking to you guys. So it's insane. The journey's just been crazy. And we can't wait to see what else is going to happen. So I appreciate everybody.
Hey, I'm going to jump in real quick. We got a question from the live chat, and we'll start down there with King. We don't have to hit everybody. What would you say to someone looking to get into home crypto mining right now in the bear market? Run? Is that what you would say?
No. So, I mean, okay, if you're going to get into crypto mining, it needs to be as a hobby, as my friend says right next to me. I've always been into technology, and I've always built computers and done networking and all kinds of stuff like that. So I got into it just because it's a hobby for me. I liked it. I like building computers. I like technology. For me, making the passive money or the crypto or whatever, that was just like, that was a byproduct of doing something that I like. So if you're gonna get into crypto mining, I would not do it just because you think you're gonna get rich. Because if you're doing that, you're getting into it for the wrong reason.
Max, what do you think down there?
Well, it kind of goes back to what I was going to talk about, how I got into mining, actually. So the two things tie very clearly together. So I was building computers for my son and daughter, and when I built one for my daughter, I was like, yeah, there's this mining thing. And one thing I've always had throughout my life and try to really instill in my kids is to always be curious, always be learning. And it was just one of those things. I was like, okay, well, this is something I heard about. Hey, you guys interested? So I started both of them on it. Unfortunately, my son had a bum 2060 that kept crashing on him, and he just kind of said, I'm out. My daughter stayed with it. We grew, just 1 card to 2 cards on one computer. Son sold me his computer so I could put a few more cards on that. Just kind of kept growing. But again, the whole thing about it was, yeah, you're making a little bit of money, but this was back in 2019. I mean, I was mining Zcoin. I mean, not really much of anything now, but yeah, that was what was most profitable back then. And but then fast forward a year later, decided, you know what? I'm gonna build my own 5700 XT rig, and built that. And it was September of 2020. Perfect timing. Accident that it was perfect timing, but yeah, perfect timing. So then from then on, it was build as much as you could, but always buying at retail, not buying over. And what I found that kind of kept me engaged in the whole thing was there's always problems to solve. And that's what I enjoy doing. And in that particular case was trying to find out how can I buy graphics cards at retail, and finding different things, whether it be through the EVGA or anyway. Bottom line is it's always about solving problems. And again, as King said, it was about it being a hobby. That's why I've stayed in it. That's why I'm in it. And then going back to the other question, which was, what was the biggest mistake? Honestly, it's probably a mistake that a lot of us have made. How many, if you could rewind about, whatever it is, 12 months ago, would you sell? Yeah, I'd sell a bunch of stuff, not everything, but I would have sold a bunch of stuff and obviously rebought at a lower price. We all know about the cycles, but yet we don't do it because we believe in the space. So, yeah, if I had to say
Awesome.
that was the one mistake I made, that would be the mistake.
All right, so another question here coming in from Goldfish Streamer. Let's go to you, Tech Hustler. Question for you. What did you do to prepare for the Ethereum merge, and did those preparations return the expected results?
I sold everything. I sold my GPUs. I sold everything.
Smart man.
And I regret it a little bit a few years later for things like Caspa, Flux. But I mean, there was an opportunity. I didn't want to get stuck with all the hardware, and I wanted to move on to something more plug and play like ASIC miners. Hey, I love you GPU guys, but it can be a headache sometimes. So, but real quick, I think bear markets are a great time to start mining. The hardware is in a bear market as well. Bitcoin miners now that are $1,500 were $9,000, $10,000, $20,000 a year or so ago. So, it is really the best time to get into mining, but don't go into it thinking you're going to get rich. What worked for me is mining was sort of my passion, and it grew from there. So
hobbyist miner, same question to you. The ETH merge, what did you do to prepare for it, and how did that work out for you?
Man,
Come on, man.
catching me off guard. I was handing it to him to talk. For the ETH merge, I actually was one of those individuals that did nothing, like business as usual type of deal. Coming out of the Ethereum merge, my mindset was, all right, we had Ergo and Flux as opportunities for GPU miners and home miners, and we had high expectations from there. But as we saw with the economy and everything like that, there just wasn't enough to support us as GPU miners. So most people that I knew sold their rigs before or sold directly following, took profits and moved on. A lot of GPU miners I know talked to powered down and packed up in that regard. I mean, for me, business as usual. I kept mining. I've been mining. I think I did shut down for about 1 month my home setup, which was what I had there. But other than that, yeah, I've stayed steady. But I'm kind of the abnormality in that group. Most people I've talked to have shut down since then.
I didn't believe it. I thought that they were just they were going to pass the buck again. I mean, Ethereum done that before, where hey, we're going to merge. No, and then you didn't. I didn't believe it, and I woke up the next day, the 16th, I guess it was, and it was still mining Ethereum, and nothing was happening. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So reminder, if you guys have questions here, feel free to raise your hand. We'll come over to you and make sure you guys can ask your question away. But by a show of hands, everybody up there, how many, like I'm hearing two things, like you buy miners or you don't buy miners, you start as a hobby. If you're kicking it off right now, just getting into it, would you would you say, yes, you should go out and get yourself a miner? By a raise of hands. Who would say, yes, go out and buy a miner to get into it?
Hold on. Wait, go buy a miner and
Well,
get
you need
into
to do
it?
some research
Yes.
first.
Okay, hold on.
Would
hold
you,
on.
I was hoping for a no.
Financial
I was hoping
advice.
for somebody to say no, that's all.
Listen. If you're gonna get into mining, most of the people in here have gaming computers. You have a computer, right? I would have seen. I'd like to think that's fair. Maybe Jeff Key doesn't, but I don't know. So, take the GPU that you have and just try it. Just try it. See if you like it. Okay? See if you like it. If you don't like it, don't go buy 4090s and think you're gonna make all this crazy money.
This typewriter wins.
So
You got to repeat that. People didn't hear what he said. You got to repeat it.
Typewriter is he has a typewriter. I know you have a typewriter. I was gonna say something.
Mike, I got a question.
Yes, go ahead. What goes the question?
There you go. Perfect. So another question coming in from UK Miners Club, and we're going to start with you two in the middle here. What does each person own the most of? So let's give top 2 coins in your crypto portfolio right now today. And we could jump around. Doesn't need to stay with those two.
So one of us two. So what do we own the most of right now?
Top 2 coins in your crypto portfolio today.
I have Flux and BTC. That's the most that I have.
What else you got? Next door.
I'm mostly Flux. I'm not just saying that, but I have all the nodes and everything like that. Mostly Flux. Any other coins that I mine, I sell for Flux. But I would have to say probably Flux and Litecoin. That's really what I'm holding. So.
King, what about you down there?
Flux is number 1, then Bitcoin.
Max?
BTC number 1, Flux number 2, and Cardano number 3.
Oh man, he went to 3. We said 2. Come on now.
Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Good for you. Okay.
Still, holding.
Hold it. I hear you. What do you got, Hawk?
BTC and Radiant.
Okay.
Radiant.
That's it.
Bitcoin and Flux.
Bitcoin and Flux as well in my category too. So yeah, maybe Caspa 3. We'll see, Yeah. Cool. What other questions? Anyone else in chat have a question? We'll jump in. If not, we'll take more from the live chat. Question, you want to get him a mic?
My question's for the Terra Hosting team. Why did you guys decide on Melbourne, Florida for your hosting center? And also, what's your pitch to potential GPU clients when the average hosting rate right now is like 10 cents or above? So a lot of miners are probably in the red or at that rate or above. Yeah.
First part of your question. Why did we choose Melbourne? With the honest answer? We chose Melbourne because we saw a future with Terra. Okay, so we didn't want to just pigeonhole into hosting, ASIC hosting, GPU hosting. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to move further because that's where the future is going to be. We saw early signs of all this like AI stuff was coming out and like people with vast AI and all this other stuff. So we started, don't flinch, King.
I was getting ready to walk.
He's our tech guy. So the minute I talk about AI, he gets all nervous. Like, hey, it's not ready yet. And it's not. We're still working on getting the facility up and running for that. But we saw a future, and we said to ourselves, okay, we can start here, and why not? We saw another thing was for GPU hosting. You said average 10 cents, roughly?
10 cents or above mostly for GPU hosting, right? It's a little bit more difficult to maintain than ASICs because you're constantly troubleshooting small components.
Right. So are you saying that that's the average? What are you asking me? I'm sorry.
Oh, from what I've seen, the average for GPU hosting is 10
the average,
cents
correct.
or above.
Yeah, sorry, yes. So
I assume you guys are above 10 cents.
we're 11.
Okay.
11 cents all in for GPUs. We also, what we do is we offer an edge. Okay, so like we require server cases. Okay, so everybody's here mostly heard of Octominer. Okay, Mr. GPURisers has a white labeled version of the Octominer of the X8 called the R8. So if you got GPUs laying around your house, right, and you can't afford to go, you don't want to go spend $600 or $800 on a case, we can rent them for you. We have that option because we have the supply to do that. With GPU hosting, here's the thing with GPU hosting. It's either really good or it's really not, right? So I try to give our clients that next step of service, okay? They got full access to mine, whatever they want. You don't have to deal with the heat. We'll manage it for you if you need it. I have a couple fully managed clients. We have an easy ticket system. All you got to do is just connect your Hive OS and go. Average home prices per kilowatt hour in the United States, the average went from 15 cents to 17 cents. So when we first started, we charged 15 cents because we needed to, because Florida just has ridiculous energy rates. Now we're down to 11 with the new location. So the goal is we want to do one more lowering of the price eventually, but we're building up to that. So we had a lot of people come in and help us with that. And GPU hosting is you're right, it's very involved. You know, ASICs are so easy, man. Like I'll take 100 ASICs before I take 100 GPUs all day long. And I'm just telling you from a pure managerial perspective, it's just, we spend hours on this stuff, right? We really put forth the effort into it. And there's not a lot of companies that will do GPU hosting anymore. So talking to my partners, and we all make decisions together, are we still gonna do this or not? If we're gonna do it, let's do it right, and let's do what we expect. You're not sending your GPUs to just some company who's gonna go put them in Siberia. We're not gonna do that. They stay in the mainland, we work on them, they're in our possession, and we're miners, so we're crypto miners, so we understand how to treat these things. We know if there's something wrong, repad, repaste. So it comes with the whole service. It's not just plug and play and none of that. So I'm sorry, did that answer your question? Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Hold on, Mike wants to touch on the Melbourne location for 1 second.
The Melbourne location was more just because it's an old AT&T POP location, a point of presence, and it was in 2000 or 2001, it was all telecoms. But it's built out just like a data center, has a false floor, and we knew that we can't just fill this thing with GPUs and ASICs, it's not made for that. But like Mike touched on it, we kind of saw proof of useful work in AI coming, and these dedicated lines for fiber, and I know Jarrett is dealing with this like crazy, but we just got our fiber lit in Melbourne. And we're not live yet because there's things that need to be plugged in. But we just got it lit and we signed that contract December 15th. So you have about an 8-month lead time for this dedicated internet. We have 10 gigs on a 400 gig tunnel, and it looks like something out of Star Trek. I'm not allowed near the case, I know that. I'm not allowed to touch anything, but we saw it coming. And you see that with proof of useful work, and you see it with AI. And I know a lot of us up here are dabbling in the AI field, and internet's important with that. And that's something that our personal mining facilities out in Kansas, we don't have the internet infrastructure there yet for stuff like this. So that's really why we chose Melbourne, is we wanted a data center, we wanted to start that process early on. So I just kind of wanted to add on to that.
You got another question there? Go ahead.
I got a question for the panel. I know you guys are going to ask difficult questions to me tomorrow, so this is me firing back already to you guys. How do you guys, as influencers, YouTubers, how do you guys get your content week in, week out? Because it's not easy, I guess, for you guys either in a bear market. How do you guys do it?
Why is everybody looking at me? All right, fine.
Because you're that guy.
Yeah.
I watched you talk to people at Mining Distro. I was amazed. I learned a lot from him, I'm being honest. He's probably one of the most influential people when he talks and interviews people. I was watching. You learn from everybody around you.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it. That's so nice.
I'm being serious. I'm not.
Yeah. So for anybody interested in content creation, watching online or here, that is looking to go down that avenue, one, it's not easy. So if you're looking for an easy avenue, not for you. If you think you don't have enough time for something, you absolutely do. A lot of people use the excuse they don't have enough time in the day, or they worked all day, they don't have time to do it. I get up at 8 and I go to bed at 1. I work my job, and then I work this whole content creation job till 1 a.m. in the morning. So getting out with content is scheduling. Scheduling 100%. Schedule your time. When you're working on your content, when you're editing your content, when you're working on thumbnails, when you're sending emails. Because if you don't do it, you'll never do it. And then all of a sudden it's 3 months later and you're like, hey, I haven't released a video yet. So yeah, content creation is not easy. And I'll be honest, most people don't succeed. These guys have. They all have channels. They've all been successful. And so it is not easy. But it is, I will say, if you're going to go in the content creation avenue, try to partner with a few channels. Cross collaborate. I think it's worked out really well for a lot of these guys when it comes down to growth. Anybody else? Or no?
No, we collaborate a lot. I remember the first person to ask me for an interview was Hobbyist Miner. He interviewed me on his channel. We all work together. So like on Misfit Mining Saturday Night Live, there's like 5 of us. There's me, Mr. Geek of All Trades, the Mining King, Max Voltage, and Chump Change, who's not here. So we all work together. We all support each other. The same community follows us around. Making content is hard. There's a YouTuber, you guys probably heard of him, Red Panda Mining. I don't know how he makes
Never
videos.
heard of him. Never heard of him.
You never heard of him? No. It's okay. Well, you should.
He's a small YouTuber.
Yeah, he's a small YouTuber. Yeah. He does videos every day, has a family, works. Like, here's my thing. If you want something bad enough, nothing's going to stop you. I work all the time. I'm up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm working. If you want something bad enough, you're gonna do it. Whether it's YouTube, whether it's mining, whether it's getting that GoPro right there and jumping off the roof to do a video, you're gonna do something you wanna do, right? So that's the focus when it comes to the YouTube channels. It's a lot of work. It takes time away from family. You gotta really, really want it, so.
So going back to the original question, which was, I thought I heard, how do you come up with the content? I only do 1 stream a week, so for me it's a lot easier. But generally, I'm just looking on the internet with everybody else and saying, what's the common topic of today? Also looking at more in-depth stuff as far as, what new projects is out there, what new thing are you working on? We're constantly evolving in this space, so we're constantly looking at different things that are crypto related and technology related. So it just kind of, you figure it out as you go. You look to see what's on the internet, what's popular, what's current, and go with that. But it is probably the most difficult part of being a content creator is coming up with the ideas for the content. Once you start rolling with it, that's the easy part.
Awesome. Let's do a question from online here, from our friend Retro Mike. So a question here, when buying hardware, do you buy hardware for a specific project? Or do you chase the project for the hardware that you bought? So let's start down there. Oh, King, why don't we start with you? And do you buy hardware for the project or the other way around?
I say it's going to depend a little bit, but it will be based upon a project, right? Because if you're a Flux fan out here, like all of us, right? Some GPUs favor Flux mining more than others, right? I'm a heavy AMD guy. I sold a lot of my farm recently, but I still maintain all of my 6700 XTs. I got about 40 of them, and I mine various coins, including Flux. But it does depend, though, what you want to mine and get into. That will dictate what you're going to purchase.
4090s all
I was going to say, it depends. It definitely depends. Whether it's mining related, AI related, whatever, you're going to make choices. I mean, I know you've been buying 3090s. I've been buying 3090s for getting ready for proof of useful work. So yeah, there's definitely specific things, but there's others you're like, take what I can get. Do I need to get a 3060 Ti, a 3070, a 4070, 4070 Ti, whatever it is, what's available, how much is it going to produce? Is it going to be content for you because nobody else has these cards yet? It really just kind of depends.
Anybody else on that question? Tech Culture's like, I'm good, pass along.
Same thing, yeah. I mean, yeah. So it's the same thing everybody else is saying, right? So right now, some of us are touching into vast AI right now, right? So it has to be King. So you're going to get server workstations. You're going to get workstations that specifically are made for vast AI. But we're also able to use that as a transition for proof of useful work as well. So you're able to do 2 things. We're waiting, but we're touching a little bit into vast AI right now, but we could transfer that over into proof of useful work as well. So it's not like just one specific project. So
yeah, I think that makes it like, that's why GPU mining, I think for all of us here was most attractive, because we could kind of mine whatever we wanted to. And I mean, unfortunately right now during the bear market, we can all agree that ASICs are definitely more profitable right now, but they're also focused on one algorithm. You know, and granted, you have your FPGAs and you're there as a hybrid, which aren't as common, but still give you some of that flexibility with their bit streams. But yeah, I mean, I think that's why all of us got into it to start with, was the ability to tinker and mine whatever we wanted to.
Right.
Yep. Cool. So what do we have? Like 5 minutes left here, give or take?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What is one thing that you are most excited to see come out of Flux in the next few months?
Proof of use will work.
Yeah, you decided to steal that one, didn't you, man?
I
okay.
stole it.
All right. What? Okay.
I'm allowed to
All
say
right. What about proof of useful work then? If you're just going to grab that one so quickly.
What about it? I'm ready to use it. I would be a part of it, just like all of us here.
Okay. What else you guys got?
I'm kind of excited for like an all-in-one type thing with the nodes and seeing how the whole network will kind of come together. I've been dabbling in the AI stuff, which the Mining King is an expert with. So he has taught all of us this kind of stuff, and it's fascinating what's going on now with language models and everything, and especially seeing Flux being able to adopt that and have customers that can utilize compute power like that in a friendly kind of way. A lot of these marketplaces now for AI are not friendly. You can mine while doing it, while waiting for jobs, but you can't really because it's not efficient, and it's a whole thing. But I'm excited to see the whole thing kind of come together, have a friendly user experience by a team that's working so hard. That's something I always look at with crypto projects, is like if you're not listing who you are on your white paper or anything like that, it's a little sketch. So I've known the Flux team for a while now. I've gotten to know all of them, and they're out there and they're busting their ass, and it's great seeing that. I believe in the team, and I believe in the project, and I'm just super excited about the whole thing as a whole.
One thing, and you want okay, Tech Hustler or Hawk, you got anything?
I'm excited about the technology, like Daniel said earlier, integrating Flux with the medical system and everything that's going on at CES, stuff like that. So I'm just excited about Flux's future. It seems like they have their hand in everything, and the community is amazing, the team is amazing, and yeah.
Anybody else?
I'm excited to see them take down Amazon, just completely. I mean, that's kind of joking, but kind of not. Because, working in IT by day, the Azures, the AWSs, the Google Clouds of the world, they charge an arm and a leg because they can. And having another, option out there that's viable with a service level agreement for enterprise applications is going to be pretty big. I don't think people realize how big that is.
I think the real world applications for machine learning and AI, I mean, you're talking about, this is going to be a $5 trillion industry, right? Estimated, okay? I'm just conservatively speaking, right? Let's just say it's double that. There's so much room here. Mining will change forever. It's not going to be the same anymore. Everything will be integrated with AI now. And what I want to see is, nobody's doing this yet. There's no user-friendly platform, okay, where people can go and just switch back and forth. Now, Flux has designed this, right? They're saying, okay, well, most of the people that want to do this don't know how to set up a Linux server, don't know how to set up anything, right? We don't. I'm one of them. I don't know anything. I called the king. I called the Mining King. I'm like, dude, you gotta help me. What does sudo su mean?
Okay, I had to give him a whole sheet that he could copy and paste all the commands, or else
he did.
Got the server up.
He did. No, he's right. 100%. 100%.
We have to announce when Mining King has office hours every other Thursday from 12 to 1. So just so you know.
You're not supposed to announce that.
So, Flux is gonna. What I'm interested to see is a lot of the AI stuff now. Vast AI, Run Pod, they're all gatekeeped. Okay, if you don't know how to run Linux, you're screwed. You can't run AI. You don't know how to do it. You got to ask your friends, and his sister's cousins got to help you out, and then all this other stuff. It's a nightmare. What I want to see is something where I can log in. Here's a dashboard, and I can hit a button that switches the units back and forth. That's what I'm most excited to see. Then after that, I want to see real world application, medical. In the medical field, it's going to be huge, right? That's what I want to see. So that's what I'm excited to see. And another thing is I'm excited to see competition. I want to know what projects are going to be able to hold water. That's what I want to see. Flux, we'll do fine. I'm confident. I want to see what other projects are going to do and how they're going to compete, because now it's going to be the space race all over again with AI and crypto mining merging together. That's what the next bull run's going to be.
And going on with what he just said was, yes, there's some that want it turnkey, but for those of us that are technologists, we look at this as opportunity of learning, trying to figure out what don't I know. I've learned Linux along the way. I remember way back when I was in college, I learned a little bit of Unix, if anybody remembers that. But bottom line is, you can learn along the way and figure things out.
Awesome. Dan, you want to close things out here?
Absolutely. Look, I love all the compliments, guys. You guys made my night, and I'll pay you when we get out of here. So, Hawk, you talked about actually seeing this thing work. Well, tomorrow, when our proof of use work, you're going to see it firsthand, and we're going to have it. I believe we're going to be doing AI, and maybe Jeff Key disappeared, but we're going to be doing rendering tomorrow as well. So, the long-awaited unveiling of it is coming, and we're excited to see it happen. So, and thank you guys all for coming here. You guys have been a huge part of the community. You guys have taught so many people how to get into the space, how to mine effectively, mine wisely, and we appreciate that, guys. So thank you again for everything you do, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're out.
I've never seen somebody jump off the stage